Hello, hello. I'm feeling extra Lutherish. I just got home from work. I tried to put it up. See, I was going at 5:15. I had to help a coworker, so sorry. But I'm still feeling extra Lutherish. Now, if you can tell by the title of this, the title says a lot. I don't want a trauma bond with you. All right. So the thing about it is, I got to put in a definition of trauma bonding because I'm not going to necessarily do it by the um, clinical definition per se. So the first thing we're going to talk about is what a trauma bond is. Um, by definition, what's up, Ron? Hannah, what's happening? DJ Codain, what's happening, Mo City? So a trauma bond is a bond that forms due to intense emotional experiences, usually with a toxic person. Similar to Stockholm syndrome, it holds us emotionally captive to a manipulator who keeps us, in quotations, hostage, right? Real Cyrus, what's happening? Demetrius, what's going on? Fly Birdie, hey. Whether through physical or emotional abuse, right? That's what a trauma bond is. But a lot of the, gender relationship issues, and a lot of us don't understand that sometimes it's not race, it's not necessarily class, it's not attraction or colorism. Narcissist, yeah, partially. It's a trauma bond. And some people get to a point of, I'm about to start talking like New Orleans, a pernt. That's a pernt. A point of growth, evolution, self-actualization, however you want to call it. What's up, Low Cass? And what winds up happening is some people grow out of trauma bonding with people. It's like, look, I don't, I grew up in the hood, right? A lot of people who grew up in the hood, you bond because you grew up in the hood, but there's an aspect, you have the positive part of growing up in the hood that you can bond with, or you have the negative part. And that to me is like the trauma bond. When you bond over something negative, you come together with a person and you bond it over traumatic experiences because you have similar traumatic experiences. So now because of your traumatic experiences, you can relate to somebody. Y'all got a better quote unquote chemistry, right? I believe that, but at the same time, it's a problem. I don't believe it's not going to cause a problem. And then what you see is people grow up and evolve, and they don't necessarily want to bond over trauma anymore. I just started, Faith. Don't even sweat it, Shug. I'm like 3 minutes in. So you don't want to bond no more over stuff like that. Like I said about being in the hood. No, I'm not going on camera. Dapper, what's happening? So if you grew up in the hood, okay, we could bond because we both grew up in quote unquote poverty, or we both grew up in what we consider a harsh environment. But different regions, the hoods are different. North, south, east, west, those are different type of hoods. I always say the Midwest and the East Coast have a better connection than in the South and the West have a better connection because the hoods are different because of the weather. You can do different things in the weather. So you have certain similar experiences. So like, if I say, my experience in Chicago, I grew up in the hood. So what? But we have the experience of, thanks G-Star, man. Mahogany, how you doing? We have this experience of, okay, when you grew up in Chicago, the shootings and the gangs and this, that, and the third. It's like, yeah, that was definitely there. But part of our experience was also the pizza box with the Italian sign on it, Italy on it. And the pizzas was in squares, right? You had the thin sliced pizzas. That made everybody go, okay. Thank you. And thank you, G-Star. We had the pizza boxes like that. We had the corner stores with penny candy, right? And the penny candy and the cookies, those are our kid stories. If you wanted to play basketball, if you played basketball outside in the winter Chicago, it was fun because you had to shoot a jump shot a certain way because of the wind. You couldn't just shoot a regular jump shot. Thanks, G Star. You know, thank you very much for thinking. I appreciate you got something out of the book. You had to shoot a jump shot differently. You know, when you hung out, we hung out differently, different clothing, different eras, different music, different spots outside of the negative aspects of the hood, right? We played football out in the snow. That was a thing we bonded over, like being able to do that. I used to jog all the time. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Edward? I used to jog all the time. And if you run in Chicago, you know the wind is always blowing in your face at a particular points of the year. I don't care if you turn north, south, east, and west. You can do that in the same doggone jog or run. The wind gonna be blowing in your face. You know, those hilarious parts of the city. Same thing with New Orleans. You know, my family's from the Ninth Ward. I was born in the, Ninth Ward. The Ninth Ward has a slogan. I'm from the 9 and I don't mind dying, right? But if you grew up in New Orleans, when I grew up, you remember going to Swagman's. That was a grocery store. You remember going to McKenzie's and getting the buttermilk drops, which was donut holes, but there was buttermilk drop donut holes. You know, the glazed donuts was immaculate. The king cakes was immaculate. You remember Mardi Gras. You remember the bands. You remember St. Aug, 35, Carver, Fauché. You know what I'm saying? John Eric. You remember how the high schools would go at it, right? It was a different culture. You know, you remember going to the seafood joint, getting po' boys, and you get the po' boys, and it's so much shrimp that it's falling out of the wrapper when you get the po' boy. You going to Hanks for crawfish. That was different. We bonded because we knew things like that. Oh yeah, king cake. You know it. You know it, Dapper. You know, they used to call it St. Aug the Purple Punks, but they're the Purple Knights. You know what I'm saying? My dad went to St. Aug. My cousin went to Fauché. My grandma went to 35. You know, I was gonna go to Fauché, but we moved to Chicago. Same thing when I lived in the DMV. You know, I lived in there when EU was killing out there. Thanks, well, what's popping? So when we bond over, we come from the hood, we bond over stuff like that. You know, not even the corner stores, but the hood stores that fed you the wings and fries for like $2-3, and you got a gang of wings and a gang of fries. The hot sauce, the mild sauce, the mambo sauce, the barbecue sauce. You know, in Chicago is different because you had the mild sauce and a bag of fries and this, that, and the third. You know, in the DMV, you had the crabs. And I got so sick of crabs because, you know, you had to put out the newspaper and the mallet and it wasn't enough meat. But out in New Orleans, it was crawfish, so it was smaller so you could crack them easier. You know what I'm saying? That part of the culture. We bonded over different things. Rainy Woman, what's going on? So when people bonded, we bonded not over the negative aspects of the hood life. We bonded over the things that we did as kids and teenagers and adults and the meals and the family and the friends and those type of experience. We didn't bond, oh man, my friend got shot, your friend got shot. You know, my uncle was dealing dope, your uncle was dealing dope. You know, your mama was getting pimped and played, my mom was getting pimped and played. We smoked weed. That wasn't bonding. We didn't look at that as like bonding like that. So this is part of the reason why I'm talking about this is that, you know, I don't want to trauma bond with you. So, you know, that's the upbringing part, right? So the other part about this is for all people who leave and evolve, you're dealing with people who in another aspects. Man, thanks, G Star. I'm sorry. Manchu. Ooh, did somebody send a Manchu? Wait. Oh, you know what I'm saying? I know about that. You know, New Orleans and Chinese kitchen. You know, when I went to Southern, we that Ralph and Cat Cools, you get them biscuits like Red Lobster. So, but when you leave, and people say, "Man, you know, you different. You got soft. You ain't the same. What happened to the old you? You left because you wanted something more out of life, right?" And everybody wants to leave a harsh environment for a better life. So when you left, you bonded with people about in a sense of getting a better life. So when you go back home, some people can't understand that. They can't understand that, yo, you different. Yeah, I'm different. You know, there you go. He's like, yeah, I'm different. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, keep working out, girl. Keep working out, Faith. I skipped the gym this morning. I owe a day. But we bonding over stuff. And people like, you got money, you change, you this, you that. It's like, oh, so what am I supposed to bond over with you about? Misery? Titan, what's popping? What am I supposed to bond with you about? Misery? I want to leave. I want to grow. I want to see some things in the world. I want to, make my own way. Make my own way. And then you come to find out that some people don't understand that, because all they understand is drama and trauma and failure and bad stories about how they failed or how they didn't make it or how it wasn't fair. And then you got the people, when you leave and you do something more positive than other people, they can't connect to that. And then it's one of those situations where, since I can't connect to you, cool, Jim, what's popping? Since I can't connect to you anymore, we can't bond over, you remember when I got screwed over? Remember when I got played? I remember that. I got screwed over and played too, but I decided that, I'm gonna take that L and I'm gonna learn from it. And I'm gonna grow. I'm gonna go further. I'm not gonna let this L stop me. I'm not gonna let a law stop me, or somebody who has it out for me, holding me back, to actually hold me back and stop me. I'm gonna still go for it and attempt to do the things I want to do. I want to succeed in life, so I'm gonna go at it. I'm gonna get out here and I'm gonna do it. And then you fall out because, some people feel like you lucky. You got out, you lucky. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't blessed with the abilities you were blessed with. But some people don't. Some people were born with, we all have God-given talents. But some people actually have a passion for whatever it is that utilizes their talent, and they're consistent at it. And they keep working. And this is where the trauma dies out. Because if you lazy and I'm not, I can't bond with you, because you're lazy, because you took some L's in life. You lost in life, so you quit. So now you lazy. Yeah, I lost in life too, but I didn't quit. I just worked harder. So I can't bond with you on that. I really can't. I can't do it. Like me and you, we may come from the same place, from the same neighborhood, from the same scenario, from the same type of family. But guess what? I chose to work my way out of it. You chose to wallow in it. We're not the same. So I can't. I don't want to trauma bond with you. I know the trauma. I know how it feels. I know how it hurts. But I'm not finna sit here and commiserate with you about the negativity of it. That ain't the thing to do. I think you use the @ Just, yeah, they got you. They got you. Be kind, bitch. That's it. Yeah, talk is cheap. So I don't want to trauma bond with you. And this might sound cold-blooded, but I say I'm a spiritual person. I'm not a religious person, because the church bothered me, because there was so many people wanting to trauma bond. I didn't know what that was. I didn't know they had a term for it until recently. But this, everybody, we got somebody who's sick and afflicted. We got somebody who's on drugs. We got somebody who the devil been working on. We got somebody, oh my God, we got somebody who didn't got cheated on. We got somebody who got beat up by a midget. We got somebody in the audience. Like, I don't want to hear all that. Oh, they say you changed too fast. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. If they don't worry about it, forget them, fam. Be changed then and go get you some of them wings. But that's my issue with religion. Jill, what's going on? That's the issue with it. Like, I don't want to trauma bond with you when everybody's coming together we're supposed to be worshiping God, but we all bonded in the traumas of life. That ain't godly to me. That ain't God. Yeah, God's word. I'm silly sometimes, you know it. But that's not godly to me. So I don't want to trauma bond with you. I don't want to sit here. We're going to praise God and pray over all this negative stuff that's happening in the world. Well, what about let's do something about it? Sometimes, and I'm going to be very candid and honest, sometimes you don't know what to do about it, but doing something positive or doing something about it, even learning along the way, is better than sitting there and doing nothing. You don't know how far effort can take you. Effort can take you a long way, even if you don't know exactly what you're doing and how you're getting there. But the effort propel you to places you never thought you could go. So I don't want to trauma bond with people who want to pray about everything all the time. I don't want to pray with you all the time. And faith without works is dead. And that's what trauma bonding is. Somebody else gonna do it. Somebody else gonna save me. Somebody else gonna do the work for me. Somebody else gonna, it's their fault that I'm in this situation. I need God to give me a miracle. God helps people who help themselves. You know what I'm saying? God bless the child that's got his own. See, we got away from all of that. We got away from all of that. Let's destroy our bodies and minds. You have to change. But what's up, Tanya? So that's a problem. I don't want to trauma bond with you with religion. Now all of a sudden we can't get along because of, I might want to be a better human being. Miss Anonymous, what's going on? Aubrey, what's happening? I'm using it in a slightly different way, Miss Anonymous, but just rock with me. Because that's the thing about religion is, and I believe in God. I believe in a higher power. I believe if you put out good, you're going to get good back. But you also going to get bad. That's part of life. Everybody's going to suffer. You know what I'm saying? Hold up. I got you. Let it go. Let go and let God. Yeah, I feel you on that. So here's the thing. I don't want to do all that with you. I just don't. And one of the reasons I don't want to do it is because of the next little aspect of this that some people might understand. To me, I don't want to trauma bond with you because I don't want to blame other people. I don't want to point the finger at everybody else. Because when I looked up the definition of trauma bond, and then people was talking about it, the way they was like, if you're with a person who's abusive and they're narcissistic and they manipulate you and they use you and they cause situations, you bond with them through manipulation. Well, here's the problem. You just, when you say trauma bonding is about somebody else being narcissistic and you with a narcissist, has it ever occurred to you that you're a narcissist too? But no, it didn't. You're a victim. You're an angel. You see yourself as an angel and not a narcissist too. You're narcissistic too. The way you playing the victim all the time is narcissistic. It's little old woe is me. I never did nothing to nobody. I'm always the victim. Okay, fine. But I'm not gonna bond with you I'm not gonna bond with you because you're always the victim. I'm just not. What's up, Vic? I don't want to trauma bond with you because you're the victim. See, and this is part of this issue that I was seeing because I was watching Mr. Research. He was showing clips of what's that? Like married. Is it like a reality show where you got like you married for like 8 weeks or something like that, and at the end you could decide to be together, be divorced. I don't know the title of it. I know it's something marriage. But everybody is, what you doing to me? What you doing to me? And we're gonna bond. And it was one young lady who said something very poignant. She said, I know he's probably gonna want a divorce and he deserves it, basically because of the way I've been acting. But she still wanted him to continue to be married after that period was over. And I was thinking to myself, this is the problem. You want to go out here hurting people and hurting people's feelings. Married at first sight. Thank you. Thank you very much, Faith. That's the thing, man. Well, what's up, Dave? You know, so now we in these situations where you want to blame this person, you want to blame that person that come into your life. You want them to bond with you over blaming everybody else. So now, we're on the same team because we're trauma bonded by hating everybody else in the world who quote unquote did you wrong. Talk real, what's happening? Man, yeah, I got it, married at first sight. I appreciate you too, Mitch. So I'm sitting here looking at these people like, okay, so you the victim to them, they did you wrong. Well, I'm a Sagittarius. It is off topic, but I got you. So one of the issues with this is I don't even like astrology like that though, but that's a whole nother point. So now we blaming this person, we blaming that person. We're a victim of this, we're a victim of that. And if you don't bond with me over my victim mentality, we can't really rock together. We can't really be together. You know what I'm saying? And the reason that's problematic to me is because what if I don't want to be the victim all the time? What if I don't? What if I can say, okay, I got done wrong? What's up, Roger Report? What if I can understand that, I got did wrong. I was a victim in this situation, but that situation ain't gonna break me. I'm not gonna be sitting here 5, 10, 15 years upset about what happened 5, 10, 15 years ago and not being able to move forward in life. It makes sense. I'm not gonna be doing that. Yeah, well, I'm getting into that, because a lot of this stuff that's going on is, bonding, people wanting to bond over some type of suffering, but you're getting this disconnect because people don't want to. What if I don't want to suffer no more? What if I'm grown and how can I say this? I'm grown now and I don't have those same idiosyncrasies, those same insecurities anymore. And I've gone past that. And I use those experiences as fuel to become a better person. And I understand that I could blame them for their things, but guess what? That made me stronger. I'm not weak or weak-minded or ready to quit or give up in life. But me and you can't cooperate. We can't get together because damn, it's like, yo, what happened is I salute those people. Thank you for giving me the energy to do better. Anthony, what's popping? You gave me what doesn't kill you make you strong. Exactly, Fav. I use that as that mentality, right? I'm gonna get mine one way or another. Get rich or die trying, however you want to call it. Shout out, the Mamba mentality. Shout out to Kobe. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna work for it and I'm gonna get it. I'm not gonna blame everybody at the end of the day. Now, but what happens when I don't want to be with you doing that no more? We're not friends no more. They used to say, eagles fly high and they fly alone. They're not really in flocks because, they go to different heights. What's up, Indigenous? What's happening? Struggle love. Yeah. But that's the thing. People say they don't want it, but they want it. People don't want it, but they want it. Yeah, they're going to start disliking you, fam. And this is a problem. Now the other part about this is I don't want to struggle bond because when I was looking at that show, at the clips of that show, Married at First Sight, I guess it was an episode recently where a man and a woman are having a conversation about sex. But when I looked at the comment section, all I saw, well, I'm not gonna say all I saw, the majority of what I saw was women going in on the guy. He looked like he a liar. He looked like this. That's why these men this. That's why these men that. And I'm thinking to myself, this is why y'all can't work and have a relationship, because y'all have this ideology that everything a man does is negative and it comes from a negative place and it has negative intentions. And now all these, get the girls need to get together, girls night out. It's all over trauma bonding about how much you hate men and how much men did you wrong. But the problem with that is, if you have that mentality, if you always view somebody else as the villain, you never see the villain that's in the mirror. Or you want to ignore the villain that's in the mirror. And when I was looking at the comment section, that's the problem. That's a big, big problem. Tony, man, what's popping? My bad. So now it's one of those situations where I'm looking at people, your ideology, you can only hang out with people who have your same ideology. If they don't have these bad experiences or bad thoughts or bad intentions, or this victim mentality of this was gonna happen, this is what people do, this is what they all do, they all like that, then guess what? What if you meet somebody that's not like that? You're gonna always give them a hard time because it doesn't fit your ideology, because you want to bond over trauma. And the reason I was thinking about that was because I said about it recently. That's what I'm talking about, Faith. I dig that. I was thinking about this recently because I was like, when I think about, when I talk to some women about certain things, the guys, we're in a dysfunctional society. And the ladies that talk about how guys cheated on them, how the guys use them, or how guys abuse them. But then when you start hearing the length of time, they're with them for an extended period of time. Now the guys that didn't use them and didn't cheat on them and didn't abuse them, they're with them guys for a short period of time. And maybe, just maybe, it's because you thought something was wrong with the guy. The guy didn't want to trauma bond with you. He didn't want to fight with you all the time. He didn't want to fuss with you all the time. He didn't want to argue with you all the time. He didn't want to be in a situation where y'all constantly going at it. I got to push him and test him and cuss with him and fuss with him and struggle with him to make him better. He might be like, look, chick, I ain't got to, no, I'm not finna bond with you like you a drill sergeant or something like that. I mean, this is about a relationship. This is not about you being my superior. Cut it out. And you're dealing with these guys who are not going to operate as your child, your superior, your underling or whatever. It's just not going to work. And then I thought about something else about, the ideology part about it. Because I think about it when we talk about race, when we talk about race, we bring racism up. What's happening, fam? L.A.R, what's popping? Salute to you. There's a certain amount of racism in this country. There's certain things that are structural, that are conscious, that are subconscious. But there are things that are internal that, it ain't everybody else's fault. Some things that are internal aren't everybody else's fault. But you want to, sometimes we want to bond over racism. But the problem is, if we keep bonding over racism, we might not fix racism. Rollo, what's happening, fam? How you doing? We're going to bond over racism. Then what we going to do? We're not going to fix it. We're not gonna attack it, because all the situations I see is people who when we talk about competing, we're talking about people who are putting their best foot forward for the world to see, regardless of racism, in spite of racism. I need to be a life coach. I don't know about that one. I'm gonna try to be here for an hour. I gotta eat, but I'm 30 minutes in, so that's part of the issue, right? Well, we're in this scenario where everything else that's structurally and psychologically holding us back, we're at odds with it. But most Black people understand, the vast majority of us, we don't bond over racism. We don't have that type of trauma bond. We know racism exists. We know why, the limitations it might put on us in certain situations, or the unfairness, but we don't get together, man, let's get these wins and talk about how these white folks holding me back. We don't do that. The only reason why we together because of racism. We don't do that because it's unhealthy. It don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? We just do what we got to do to make it from, to put one foot in front of the next and do something. So that's the other thing about it. Now, the reason I'm talking about this, and for all y'all people who showed up a little bit later, is because when it relates to men and women, what I'm seeing, no, I ain't no life coach, David. What I'm seeing is people don't take into consideration, you got some people who just don't want to trauma bond anymore. They don't want to bond over negative stuff. And you're thinking this is men versus women or miscommunication with in between men and women, when it's just, no, somebody wants to do something that isn't tied to a toxic mentality. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Now the reason, so because I got to get into some things about this now. And when I saw the thing with Married at First Sight, it made me think about it. And I don't think some people really take into consideration. I was looking at Richard Sherman too. And I don't think people take into consideration that to get to a place that you've never been, you might have to be a better version of yourself that you aren't at the particular time. And to be that person, you're going to have to shed some of these traumatic experiences, and you're going to have to compartmentalize them and put them aside and to be better. When people say they need therapy and we need to work together, well, here's the problem. Some people can only operate through trauma. You know, I was dating this woman. I'm still dating this woman. But we were talking initially, and I invited her out. He said, we kick it. Let's go out on the date. Let's go out. This, that, and the third. But she immediately said, not immediately, but a few minutes later, she was like, "And you never asked me to go anywhere or do this with me or do that with me." And I just said, "Didn't I just tell you we going out?" Oh, snap. It's going to be fun. I just got a good text message. So, and I was like, "Didn't I just say that?" And she's like, "You know what?" She jumped the gun because she assumed that, as a man, I was going to do this, that, and the third. I was going to try to use her and ghost her. And that wasn't the case, but that created a thought in me, in my mind, like, well, I'm going to get drama for no reason. But what if I don't want to argue with you? I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna argue with you. And like when BMT and David was doing that kind of that role play reenactment, which I'm gonna do more of those role play things because I think it's an easier way to handle some of these adult conversations, and people won't get triggered if you're more of a character and not a person taking it personally. But we'll get into that on another day. So what winds up happening is, when we were talking about it, that I want to fight. Should I fight with you? Should I fight with you? Should I fight with you? Because we assume that this fight and this struggle is going to bring us together. But maybe I'm not a person who wants to constantly fight with you, because if you don't even have a end game to get peace, we're just going to fight until we die. So maybe I'm just going to walk away, because at the end of the day, it's an unnecessary fight, because there is no winner, there is no loser. It's just a bunch of wasted time, and this becomes one of the parts. Anime was popping. Yeah, David, and I don't even watch. I haven't been watching Power for like the last 2-3 years. But early on in the beginning, I'm gonna use that as an example. I remember Ghost wanted to just be in the club business, and Tasha was like, "I want you to be the biggest drug dealer in New York." And I could see the look on his face was like, why? He wanted to go legit. Tommy wanted to be the biggest gangster. What is that? Now, I'm sure Ghost's supposed to be dead or whatever, about to be dead, and everybody else is scrambling for their life. But they would have been living good and legit if they would have just walked away and stopped wanting to be in all this drama. But they're bonded through traumatic experiences. You know, they're friends because of all the people that they killed and all the people that they had to cover up and all of these bullshit that they was doing, you know, and now you can't escape it because you dug yourself a hole so deep, you know, it just don't make sense. Ice Dream, what's popping, man? I spank my monkey. You are hilarious. That is a hilarious name. But what if I tell you I don't want to bond with you like that? I don't. You know, like I remember playing sports, and my coaches used to tell me, if you were 6 feet tall, you would be a monster. Like I'm 5'8". And I used to tell them, I said, hey, I'm still better than everybody. I just ain't taller than everybody. Oh man, look, I ain't watching, fam. I'm just assuming. Keith, I'm just assuming. Ken, what's happening? Hey, I got you, Ken. No problem. I got you. But some people would have took that and be like, man, I'm only this size. I'll never be great. It's like, no, I was good. I was damn good. I had things that happened to me when I was younger that caused me to not get scholarships that were out of my control. Completely out of my control. But some of the things that happened to me actually help some people in the future springboard to more successes in those endeavors. It's not a big deal. Right. Hey, you know what, Faye? Let me put that up. You know, because you know what? Now I'm going to be fair to the ladies on this. There are guys like that. She got to argue. She got to fight. Then you get a girl that doesn't argue and fight. What's up with her? She ain't fun. She boring. This thing with us as people, when somebody is good to you, they're boring. That's because you want a trauma bond. You want to fuss. You want to fight. You want to get cheated on. You want your car. You know, when you think it's cute that she key up your car or fight you or slap you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or cuss you out. Oh, that's so sexy. She really liked me. Look at her. She's so emotional. All right, man. There's going to come a point where that's going to get real old. You know, real old. Real fast. You know, real fast. You know, and so people agree with you, you know. So there you go. Ice Dream agree with you, just to say that. Now, I got to talk about this part. People want a trauma bond. Oh boy, it's about to get ugly. People want a trauma bond over drugs, alcohol, smoke. You know what I'm saying? The people you hang out with, y'all get together, y'all drink. Y'all don't drink necessarily as a celebration for anything. Y'all just drinking. You're drinking as a way to wind down. You're drinking as a way to quote unquote numb the pain. Oh, I'm gonna get to sex too. Don't worry about that, Hannah. You're drinking as a way to numb the pain. You know, you're doing drugs as a way to feel, you know, whatever you need to feel, right? Don't make me Stephen A. Smith to get stay off the weed. You know what I'm saying? But cocaine, you know, prescription drugs. You got to do all of this stuff. Third degree, what's popping? You know, so you gotta. So now you bonding with people because y'all can smoke together, y'all can drink together, y'all can y'all get high together, and for some odd reason, it's cool. You know, same thing. You know, addiction. That's what I'm gonna say. Trauma bonding over addiction. The same thing when I look at when people are morbidly obese, they bond with people, you know, for food over food. Food is an addiction. I gotta eat. It makes me feel better. You're unhealthy as hell, but you bonding with people. So everybody around you is big. Everybody around you likes to eat. Everybody around you drinks. Everybody around you is alcoholic. Everybody around you smokes or is a weed head or is a coke head, right? Everybody around you is, and they all have these traumatic experiences that happened when they was a child or when it was a teenager or an adult, and it's got them glued to this vice. So you glued to this vice now. So you so deep in it that only the people you hang with are deep in it, and all y'all bond together. But here's the problem: what happens when somebody says, "Look, man, I don't want to drink no more"? Then the friendships fracture. I ain't smoking no more like that. The friendships fracture. They could still be a drinker. They could still be a smoker. You know, a person that eats that became obese. I want to get healthy. I'm gonna get into shape. They're gonna lose those friends. They'll still have those people as friends, but they're not gonna have as much time with them because they don't want to bond over the trauma no more. You don't want to sit there and eat 37 wings. True story. It's gonna sound silly, but one of my homeboys, one of my homeboys, good friend of mine, he's in college. He had a season he was in the big girls. So because he was in the big girls, he was dating this big girl, and he convinced all of her big girl friends that they could come hang with us, and we were just gonna be a, big girl, little dude extravaganza, right? So he brings these girls in, but they had to go to Popeyes before they came over. And this was in the late 90s. So we go to Popeyes and order, like, I would say 60 to 70 pieces of chicken. 4 girls, 4 guys. And we was making a joke. These girls ate 52 pieces of chicken. And they just sitting there, and we like, what the heck? And we laughing because my homeboy and the big girls, he like, y'all don't know what y'all missing. Hey, Hannah, Popeyes is good. I don't care what you're talking. Them biscuits off the chain. You know what I'm saying? But Popeyes in New Orleans is different from Popeyes everywhere else, though. But I get what you're saying. Meat is disgusting. I got you. So, oh, man. I know that feeling. I do know that feeling. But that's the thing. Third Ward was popping, man. So we made fun of the chicks because they ate so much food. But the other thing is about the other vices and the drugs and all that other stuff. It's like, yo, why? Because now, when the people I knew who were big, when they started getting into shape, their big friends didn't hang out with them no more. The people who smoke weed, they'll still smoke, but not as much. I learned this discipline early on when I was playing sports. You can't eat certain things. You can't drink certain things. You have to do that seasonally or at certain occasions. You just can't do it all the time. All right, Lee. All right. Frenchie, hey, Frenchie's off the chain too, Third Ward. Don't. I ain't sleeping. I was dumb. I remember running track when I was at TSU. I wasn't running track at TSU. I was at a football practice. We had a workout. I went to Frenchie's, got me with 5-piece wings with the fries and the red drink. I threw up all over the track. I was hungry that day. That was stupid though. That was dumb. Mike, what's happening? So now you don't bond like that. You just don't. You just don't. You know what I'm saying? They do got some baddies. So now, what if I don't want to do that no more? We can't be cool no more. Same thing with cats in the streets, right? You gang banging, your homeboy stop gang banging, you can't hang no more. Your homeboy a player, you stop being a player, you can't hang as much no more, right? You know what I'm saying? He going right, you going left. It is what it is. The bond is dying because y'all growing in different directions. But if y'all had something built on something outside of trauma, y'all will still be cool. Still be real cool. Now, of course, as you brought up, people trauma bonding. What if I don't want to trauma bond with you sexually? And some people might not understand that. That's why I'm gonna bring it up though. I might not want to choke you. That might not turn me on. I might not want to slap you in your face. That might not turn me on. I might not want to cuss you out in the middle of sex. That might not turn me on. I might not want to have sex with you in a way that's anger based. We gotta, but I'm still pimping, Mike. You crazy. But I might not want to bond with you sexually by fulfilling your semi take it rape fantasies. I might not want to do that. What if I want to do something more healthy as far and romantic? I don't want to bond with you over trauma. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to spit on you. And some people don't understand this because this hasn't been their situation with people in the bedroom. But for me, I've had, girlfriends and partners who wanted all this extra stuff. And I remember a specific instance, a girl wanted me to choke her. And I was like, I ain't really into it. She's like, come on, do it. And I started choking her while we was having sex, and her eyes just lit up like, yay! And I'm like, nah, I'm not messing with you. Eric, what's happening? It's like, damn, like you want me to just crush your esophagus? I mean, yeah, Hannah, yeah, people want to be choked. Like to a degree, there's one way asphyxiation to lighten the oxygen, and it's more of a turn on or more high as far as an orgasm. That's what people think. But some people, that's one thing. Other people just want to be choked. They want to feel like, they're getting choked. And, emulating, quote unquote, a moment of passion. Poke dog, what's happening? Just, and they call you gay if you're wrong. Yeah, that's true. Oh, shit. Billy Wank, man. You know what? Salute to you. Salute to you. That takes an amount of a hell of amount of discipline. So she can accidentally die. Yes, she can accidentally die, Hannah. Well, not necessarily. No, you can't really die. You pass out. I've heard of a person dying before, but the vast majority just pass out. But that's the same thing. I don't mind pulling a girl hair and doing all that other stuff, but there comes a point where if I don't want to bond with you sexually in a traumatic type of way, because some girls like being with a person that they want to have sex with, but they want him to, in some ways, ravish her like a rapist. And some of those girls got raped. Some of those girls didn't. But just that, do this, do that extra. I'm not really into the BDSM type thing. I'm not into masochism like that. You know what I'm saying? Man, whoever talking about C Boogie, my homeboy. I don't even know if that's C Boogie because I wasn't even talking about. I didn't listen to that. But C Boogie, my dog, he good people. But what I'm talking about is just the bonding things, because some people wonder, you want a good sex life, you want to have great sex with a person, and you want to be in a good spot, and you want to quote unquote pair bond through sex. But the problem is, you want to pair bond through sex, but you're doing things that are would be not necessarily traumatic, but it's going to be out there. What the hell? I know you did not say that shit, Faith. I know of a girl who I know a few girls into that. I hate to say this, fellas. I actually personally know 3 girls that do what Faith talking about. And if y'all don't know it, I think that's what, if I'm not mistaken, that's what they call it. That's when a woman screws a guy with a dildo. That's trauma bonding, my nigga. I'm not finna be with somebody that's even trying to do that. Oh, I love you so much. Let me put this. I'll beat the shit out you, chick. What's wrong with you? Have you lost your mind? Have you lost your mind? Tell him, Big Poke Dog. Shit. So that's the problem. But if you want to be in these situations, you know what, Hannah? I'm about to choke the hell out of you in this chat. Because you traumatic right now. You causing me trauma right now with your damn responses. But how you gonna pair bond with somebody sexually while you want them to do things that is just a little bit too violent. You know what I'm saying? This guy ain't aggressive enough. Yeah, he's aggressive enough, but you just want somebody to elbow you in your trachea. That's not pair bonding. Look at y'all. You look at y'all in the chat. I ain't got nothing. Does that make the man? Yeah, in my opinion, yeah, it would. Yeah, it would. That's what I mean. But let me get off that because that's making my head hurt thinking about that. But the other thing about trauma bonding, and I hope this is going to be for the ladies who talk about protection, right? Some of y'all are trauma bonding, and men too. Some of you people, I don't want to trauma bond with you over power or your feeling of powerlessness. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to bond with you in a sense of you felt like you didn't have a certain power when you were younger. So now as an adult, you're reacting out of that trauma, and everything you do and the way you interact with people out of trauma is to get your power back or to feel like you're powerful again or to not feel powerless. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see Hannah Wilding. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you see that. So, and what I meant by the protection part with ladies, what guys are trying to say, if you get with a guy who you think is Fabian, what's popping? SC, man, what's popping? I'm sorry. She wants to get with a guy who she feels can protect her. And it's like, if you get with a guy who you feel is protect you, and if the guy's big, okay, muscular, okay, known to be good with his hands, okay, but if he's a troublemaker, if you want to be with a gangster, that's not protection. Now you're being with somebody you want to be with somebody that makes you feel powerful because you felt powerless as a child or whatever, right? And this person is like you're dating, the little girl in you is dating this person that's no good for you because this person would have protected you from whoever did whatever to you. But they're long gone, and these years are passing, you're older, and now you're interacting with new people as looking for a guy who can be your attack dog. That's not so you're bonding over trauma. He's going to protect you. I need protection from who and from what? Because if you need protection, we got to know what you need protection from. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with this idea, men are going to dominate women and be domineering, and women won't do anything because you feel like they've met men who have a Napoleon complex, right? To feel powerful over somebody, he has to go above and beyond because of his Napoleon complex or his complex about being powerless. So you're going to bond with me because I'm going to reign over you or lord over you or whatever in a way that you're going to fall in love with me in a Stockholm syndrome type of way. But if I don't want to bond with you like that, you're not going to tell me what to do, when to do, how to do it, jump when you say jump and all that. I'm finna do all that. It's not a prison. It's not the military. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not finna happen. But what happens when somebody doesn't want to bond like that? When a guy's like, look, I'm not finna be your pit bull. I don't want to bond with you by being your protection in your mind for what happened to you when you was 10, 13, 16 years old. Not finna happen. On the flip side, with the person who wants to yell and be demeaning and dominant, I'm not finna bond with you because, we're at a certain position. So we want to, piss on everybody that we feel is beneath us because it makes us feel powerful. I'm not bonding on the trauma that when you were powerless, you couldn't do this, and now you powerful. You want to just, act like some villain over the world. It's not finna happen. It's not finna happen. So what if I don't want to bond with you like that? This is part of the problem. They say, okay, Ebony. They can say what they want. Yeah, but that ain't me, fam. That ain't me. But that's the other thing. It's one of those situations where You dealing it with Ahmed, what's happening? Yeah. You know what? That is absolutely it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to trauma bond with you. You know, some people don't necessarily get it. And one of the reasons I say that is because some of us have had dysfunction. And I think about, when we talk about we're looking for traditional family values. And people want to say, well, traditional family values, there's an element of dysfunction that I don't want in my life. But and you bond with people. Oh, Shay Linux, what's happening, fam? And then you bond with people over this aspect of, the negative things that happen under traditional family values. But you can't bond with people who have traditional family values that had positives. That was more positive than negative, because most traditional family values are way more positive than negative. So now you're interacting with the world off of your lack of understanding of traditional family values. And I'm not just talking about the man-woman aspect. I'm talking about the teamwork aspect. You know what I'm saying? But who the heck? You know what? Hold up. Now you said that, Ebony. How about this? I'm not gay. It really don't matter if you calling me that, but I haven't even seen somebody say that in the chat. So if you in the chat calling me gay, let me know it's you. Since because if you're gonna say that about me, I mean, let me know it's you. I know that you didn't say that, Faith, and I know you didn't say that, Ebony, but I'm just saying I'm guessing y'all, whoever got timed out or blocked or whatever, I don't know. But truth is, I know it was popping. So here's the thing. So people want traditional family values, and the reason I was thinking about this, and the reason I put it into it, in its aspects, and I was going to talk about the relationship aspect, is because part of what I was seeing in those in the interactions between men and women was the men and women can't see eye to eye because they have they're not willing to trauma bond together. Men are not willing to trauma bond with women, and women are not willing to trauma bond with men. But the problem is that you can only see the other person that's trauma bonding. The man can only see the woman trauma bonding, and the woman can only see the man trying to trauma bond. And it's like, that's the red flag. But when having traditional family values come up, you see where people get stuck because their trauma is in having to do something as far as working with the opposite sex in a traditional sense. The men say, I'm tired of these women because they're narcissistic and they're users. The women say, we're tired of these men because they're narcissistic and they're users. What's up, Dana? How you doing? Your Asian boyfriend hit you up today? You know I got to mess with you. But what if I don't want to bond with you like that? What if I say, this is not what's up? I don't care about your childhood issues like you care about your childhood issues. I ain't see that, Dave. Is he a player, baby? So that's the issue. Like, now you don't know how to work with, men are trying to say, I still understand chivalry. I know how to work with women. The women and the guys are saying the women don't know how to work with men. You know what I'm saying? But it's the trauma, because I was hearing a young lady speak, and it was the Married at First Sight, and she was so scared. Like, if he says this, it means this, and I have to protect this. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. Nobody wants to be with a person who's scared of everything. I don't want to, I can't have a conversation with you because it goes back to a trauma. I can't, if everything triggers you, I don't want to bond with you over all of your damn triggers. I don't want to walk on eggshells through life because you can't handle life. Life has ups and downs. Now, the last, one of the last thing I'm gonna talk about as far as the trauma bonding on this part is, if you notice, I don't want to trauma bond with you because I don't want to be your savior and I don't want to be your martyr. Because when people recognize that they have that you and a person have a, what's up, Tyrone? That you and a person have a similar upbringing, a similar life, and similar traumas, and you're functional and they're not, they're going to want to bond with you over those traumas because they're going to hope that you can be, you can be their savior. You can show them how to become functional again, or you can show them how to get over the trauma or to move past the trauma. Or they want you to die trying, but they're never going to fix it. You know what I'm saying? They're just never going to fix it. So that's a problem because people do not want to do that. I don't want to bond with you by being your savior because you can't never help me if you're looking at me as your savior, or I'm going to show you how to save yourself. If you're looking at me as a martyr, as your martyr, I can't do nothing for you, or you can't do nothing for me because I'm here to lay my life down per se for you. Aisha, what's happening? Oh, I'm sorry. Aisha. I'm sorry. Leave it to the professionals. I get that. But that's a trauma. Like, and some people, when they talk about narcissists, part of being a savior or a martyr, some people are so narcissistic they see themselves as everybody's savior or everybody's martyr. I'm sorry, Aisha. I'm sorry. So this goes into this complex where I'm always doing this for these people. I'm always doing that for this person. I'm always looking out for this person. I'm always doing this and nobody does it for me. Well, I'm not finna bond with you because you're a giving person and you're not getting something back, and I'm a giving person. I'm not getting stuff back. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get back to my damn self. I'm gonna pat myself on the damn back. Jameson was popping. That's what I'm gonna do. This, and people don't realize it's a big problem. Oh, Shay, you off the chain. Yeah, somebody said you looking good, girl. Careless, what's happening? So that's a problem. Big problem. So hold up. Dana, you still in the chat? Because I was about to stop in a minute or two. Well, I'm gonna see if you want to come on. So I'm gonna just make sure before, because I've got shrimp fried rice on my mind right now. What's up, George Michael? They call you George Michael fan. But it's one of those things where you got to take into consideration, like, man, come on. Like, I can't do that. Like, I don't think everybody should be saved and everybody's a savior. I don't think everybody is a martyr, and I don't think everybody should be martyred. And I don't think we need to come together with this Jesus complex. I just don't think. I just don't believe it. But I'm not going to bond with you over that. And to say this as candidly as I can, I think, this is one of the relationship issues that we have in this country, is necessarily first world problems where everybody feels like they're owed. They feel like they owed something, to the point where I'm owed so much that I think you should pay me back because of all the traumas that I faced. You owe me because you got it together. You're a good person, so you know what it's like to be played like I got played, or used like I got used, or abused like I got abused. So God sent you to me to pay me back of everything in the world. And it's like, man, that's bull, man. That's bull. You know, I'm not finna bond with you over that. That's a bad look. So ultimately, man, it's some BS. And for some people who want it, y'all can have it. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't make no damn sense. But since Dana did not respond, I think I'm gonna get out of here now. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me because I've been here for an hour. You know, Anthony, man, I appreciate you. Hey, get out, yeah. You know, tell him again, David. Just tell him again, like you can't be everybody else's savior, man. You know, you shouldn't even want to be that. But like I said, I'm gonna get out of here. Oh well, before I get out of here, O'Shea Linux want to save you, Aisha. Oh yeah, yes he do. Hey, you looking good in there? Yeah, he want to save you. I want to be saved. I appreciate you, Ruby. But you say must stay? Nah, I ain't gonna stay. I'm hungry. I ain't ate all day. You know, so peace, y'all. If this shit start working, if I can cut this thing off, hey, where we go.